Today's video is on how to try to fight back against AI integration into Firefox. Yes, as of last month, almost exactly a month ago, this became something that someone had to build a tutorial over, and I'm doing a video on it. Here we go. To disable Firefox Large Language Model AI, you can do this through user.js, a preference file, and or through about config, where user.js settings are dumped in as a script. It's a JavaScript file that gives orders to every new profile built, and maybe a current one, but we're going to treat it as if it's going to fight back. There'll be a warning and a rant at the end of it. Let's get this done. On each Firefox profile, or just log into your Firefox, or just open Firefox and not log in, because I never log in with a Firefox account. I'm a security technician. If you see me not do something, you shouldn't do it either. I'm a bomb disposal person. If you see me running and freaking out, try to keep up. Let's move on. About config, address bar, hit enter. Click the blue I accept the risk and continue button, or like I did, literally rip it out of the code because I got fed up with it asking that. You are now in the advanced configuration page, otherwise known as the preferences Firefox hides from you. Virtually every piece of software has one of these administrator break-ins. Sometimes they're called diagnostic pages or the flags page if you got a cell phone. Every one of you needs to learn how to hack every piece of hardware and software. And I'm not joking about it. I've said that in the past and everybody should do this. I understand that. But now it's literally you're going to have to do this to get your computer to behave. By the way, I thank Microsoft Corporation for doing one of the largest promotionals of Windows XP, yes, Windows XP, and Windows 7 in history by absolutely clusterfucking Windows 11 somehow just by doing AI. I mean, really? Let's move on. I'll do the rest of the rant later. Sorry, it's just a preview. Search within the advanced configuration page, otherwise known as about config, about:config. Did I say it enough? Look for browser.ml. Look for everything named that way. Make note of it. It'll come up and sort them nicely. Browser.tabs.groups.smart. Anything that says it's smart, you need to turn it off. But we're only talking about this now. Look up other things with the word smart. Look up each setting. Go berserk on the net. But right now, just look up browser.ml, and I guess that's model large, or model language, and browser.tabs.groups.smart. whatever. And it'll bring up a lot of settings. Now, under these, you're going to set these defaults, turning them off, one by one, following each preference name. Browser.ml.enable, browser.ml.chat, a whole group of those, enable, menu, page, page.footerBadge, page.menuBadge, browser.ml.linkPreview.enabled, browser.ml.pageAssist.enabled. Then there's browser.tabs.groups.smart.enabled and also user.enabled. And then extensions.ml.enabled is a separate one you have to look up. It's not in the group. And browser.search.visualSearch.featureGate. Now, all of these are individual settings that turn on and off certain features being visible, or maybe being active, or maybe running in the background. Or maybe they don't, depending on what you're watching right now and when you watch this video. But what version of Firefox is this for? All of them. Because, well, I'll get to the rant. For all other current or future profiles, you would have to make settings across the entirety of your copy of Firefox. See also FireFox ESR PORTABLE. Repeat after me. FireFox ESR Portable. Portable versions don't let the operating system meddle with them, and they're not operating system aware, and they don't integrate into the computer. This means that other programs have a little bit more trouble messing with them and mining them. Go portable or go home. ESR means extended service release. It just means the one that wasn't broken. Firefox has 133 versions, but there's only 11 of them that are actual versions that were finished. I did a video on that. They are the ESR versions. Yes, I know someone's going to contradict me because actually, if you hear that from someone in person, ask them where the retainer is. Anyway, let's move on. To get it to do on all profiles, you still have to do it on your one profile you use most, or the only one I use on Firefox. I don't use multiple profiles because I don't want to. Portable can do it. I don't want to do that, though. Again, you're going to do a mass change. It's the same settings, but they're done in JavaScript speak. Instead of looking for browser.ml.enable, it's this format. User_pref, parentheses, quote, that string, quote, space, comma, space, false, parentheses, semicolon. It's the same settings. They'll be down below in the description. They're almost identical. I'm just cutting and pasting this from someone else's work because this is what they found so far. And remember, every revision a corporation does to the software you use because you enabled auto-update. I bet you did, didn't you? You didn't turn off auto-update and purge the system or start over with a portable version with it fully turned off originally. That's ESR. Portable. Do I have to repeat it again? Let's move on. You make this as a text file and you save it as a plain text file, as in just fucking use stupid, not smart, non-smart text editor Notepad. That means you may have to download the copy of Notepad for Windows XP for it not to sit there and fuck with you. I have tried to use newer versions of Notepad and they don't have the ability to shut the fuck up. And all of you out there that laugh in Linux, most of you are using a smart utility version of Emacs or something by now. You're using a hyper program. Hyper bad. Hyper is just as bad as smart. Well, it's helping me. No, it's interfering with you. You do not spell check source code because it will break source code. Understood? Well, just don't. Every answer anybody gives, this is the rant, about how a smart function needs to be enabled for some fucking dumbass reason is based on people being profoundly, pornographically lazy with simply not making mistakes and not doing best practices. Every one of these settings, user pref, yada yada, false, semicolon. Should it have a space after the semicolon or not? Should you format it in universal format, as in Windows format, because every system will compensate for it? Yes, I know Windows is stupid because it does a carriage return, which implies a line feed, and a line feed, which implies a carriage return. And on a Windows machine, you can technically use this to draw things on the screen, and on Linux, and on Macintosh, and on smartphones. And I understand that. But the fact is that if you save this file, shut the hell up and listen, in the Windows end line and new line function standard, every other system simply compensates for it because it became the default wrong standard, except it's not wrong. Carriage return means move the line back over here. That means it can overwrite the line. And line feed means move down. It doesn't mean move back. Those are two separate commands. Every other system isn't wrong. They just know that it almost always means if you see a carriage return or a line feed or both, go here. And to save one stinking byte per line, every other group of people, Linux, decided to embrace the Fago tree and make sure that we don't have a universal standard. So the universal standard ended up being the one you were fighting, the Windows, or more accurately, MS-DOS format of a carriage return and a line feed being integrated because that gives full compatibility. All you have to do is use it. But Waptec, I don't give a shit. If you're a Mac fiend or a Linux cuddler, I don't care. You will give instructions to tell people to use saving it as, if you don't like the word Windows, MS-DOS text file format because literally everything will interpret it correctly. Some systems insist on putting it in carriage return to line feeds as separate lines so you get spaces between, which is a standard that was come up with to be pissy. Disable that. Grow the fuck up. Yes, on the internet and on web pages you can use a carriage return or a line feed and it'll work fine, right? Except with certain tags and certain, like pre or whatever. Then it doesn't work correctly because it's doing what it's supposed to do. They are separate commands and they're supposed to be at the end of each line. And you guys run around with multi-terabyte data files on your servers, but you bitch about 1 character per line extra to be completely compatible with everything on the planet. Stop it. I'll have another rant in a minute, I'm sure. Anyway, you save this as a plain fucking text file. Motherfucker, do you speak plain text? as user.txt. Now, I've gone off on a rant. What do we do with this text file? Again, it's a cut and paste of what's below. Should it have carriage return line feeds at the end? Should it have an extra space? Firefox don't give a shit. Firefox is Honey Badger. You can put a space at the end, which is what I do habitually, because if I don't, you can hear me doing it right now. I want you to listen to this. This is the amount of time I'm wasting. And I'm really bad at this. I'm a hunt and pecker, but I can hunt and pecker. There's a joke there. But anyway, that's how long it took. Yes, it's long. You can also, it's really long. You can also tell your text editor to always end every line with a carriage return line feed and shut the hell up, as well as an extra space at the end. Why? Because if you post this on the internet as a text file, and it doesn't bitch about it being a JavaScript file or whatever, if it doesn't complain about it being code, if it doesn't complain about curly brackets or whatever YouTube wants to complain about, if it doesn't make these complaints, it'll save it and it'll work, again, universally. Yeah, that word. Interpretability between systems. Our system's better. No one gives a shit if it doesn't fucking work 100% of the time. And right now, whether you like it or not, even on the internet, even in code when you write a web page, a carriage return line feed at the end, also with a space at the end, is now the universal requirement. Now, I didn't like it either. There should just be a single one that says carriage return line feed and stuff. But that's never been part of the system. Never. Except on web pages where it's this symbol, BR, this symbol, preferably capitalized. Yeah, and then, of course, they deprecated it for some longer string that's hard to figure out recently. Isn't that just lovely? Everybody's got standards of their own. Every time we come up with a universal standard, that creates another standard. Or you could just use the oldest standard all the systems begrudgingly tolerate, even if they insert fake extra lines to be bitchy, or you could turn that shit off and actually get along. I don't like it any more than you do, but this is the universal format. This is peak performance. You may not like it, but that's what it looks like. When you save that text file, save it where you can find it, not where Windows wants to put it. Don't save it in My Documents. Put it on the damn desktop. But I don't care. Well, I don't know how to put things on the desktop. Now's a good day to learn what the fuck you're doing on your computer. All I'm saying is, if you don't know how to do anything I'm telling you to do, fucking go learn it. Now here we go with the next. In the address bar, again, our magic incantation, Firefox shutupicus, about profiles with a colon in the middle instead of about config. Then we hit enter, because you need to know that on an address bar. Oh, we don't see an address bar? Learn how to enable the address bar on Firefox. I have a video about it. Now you are able to access the profile management page. This shows you the profiles on your Firefox install. And again, I have a portable copy, so it doesn't have extra ones. Because I don't need them and want them, and I don't want it to use that as an excuse to hide more settings, which is what it will do. It will make a master set that it will not. So I have to go into the master set, which it fights me for, and set all the settings to default. Or we do this. Find the root directory of your current profile. Very important to do this early. Find the root directory button on the page, on the profile management page. You'll find the default profile release is the name some of them have, or something like that. Find the root directory, and to the right you'll see open directory. Do it. Copy your user text file into that, and look for any other thing like user.js. If it has a user.js, temporarily change it to text, cut and paste the user text you had into it instead. But you're going to have to get them to combine together. Repeat this for any other profiles in any other root directories you can find. This is all called How to Disable All, or some, AI features in Firefox web browser, done by somebody on another website under ubuntuhandbook.org, disabling AI in Firefox, about a month ago. Now, I'm sorry about the rant if anybody's tired of this, but every one of you that says, I laugh in whatever, I laugh in MS-DOS. It doesn't have the ability to do any of these things because it literally can't run AI unless I manually build one. That doesn't mean I'm going to run MS-DOS to look at a YouTube video until I can, in which case I will be head over heels happier. Next, no, we don't have to install Linux to get rid of these problems. Why? This was an Ubuntu training page, an explanation page, and tutorial because it infected Linux. Game, set, and match. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You're going to need it, and you're going to have to learn to do this on every piece of software you have.